Wow. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you all again for coming to the info session for the Service Immersion Program. So a little bit about what the Service Immersion Program will look like this year. So all of our Service Immersion programs take place during spring break. This academic school year, it is March 2nd through March 8th, 2025. So really exciting to be able to share that. And usually our service immersion programs are anywhere from 5 to 7 day experiences. And what does that mean? Why is there a range? Some of our partners invite our students to start on Sunday, some start on Monday, and some go all the way till Friday or Saturday. It really just depends on our community partner. It also depends on different things like flights or trains or things of that sort of when the actual experience will start. But typically our students travel on Sunday, work from Monday through Friday, and then they return back to Philadelphia on Saturday. The programming fee currently is still $400. This is the same that it's been over the past few years. The $400 covers your transportation to and from your service trips. It also covers your meals and other yes, Issa, that you are there, and other extracurricular activities that will take place during your time away. So this year we actually have 4 focus areas, not 5, excuse the typo. Our first one is immigration rights, and that is all of these locations are pretty much set, but with the service immersion programs, things could possibly change depending again on our partners. We try to lean a lot on the different partners inside of these different areas. And so we have worked with a few of them before. We are introducing some new programs this year as well. So the immigration program is in El Paso, Texas, and it focuses on immigration advocacy, border control, and things of that sort. And so our students get to talk with different individuals who have experienced immigration. They get to do a lot of different service work, like they work in a food kitchen. And there's a lot of amazing things that happen while our students are in Texas. Another one of our trips is Indigenous rights. And so our students that are interested in learning more about Indigenous peoples, they live on a reservation with the Indigenous people. They learn about the history and the nature of that area. And they also get to do a lot of service work there. Last year, our students were able to build accessibility ramps, as well as different household items for the people that live there. So it was really a transformative experience for our students that were able to be there. And I am so excited to have this trip back this year. Our third trip is a disability advocacy trip, which right now is also planned to be in Texas, Brookshire, Texas, and we will be working with Brookwoods Community, which is a live on or day program for people who have different disabilities. Avery, great question. I'm so sorry I forgot to say that. The Indigenous trip is in Pine Ridge, South Dakota. And then the last one is One Philly. So One Philly right now is planned to follow the budget proposal of our current mayor, which focuses on the 5 different pillars that Philadelphia might be experiencing when it comes to difficulties in our city. And so that includes public safety, education, economic opportunity, housing, as well as sustainability or clean and green Philadelphia. And so we hope to focus on a few of those different issues that face Philadelphia. And we are also really excited to have this trip here because this was a response to what our last year's cohort said that they wanted to see. They wanted to see an opportunity to do a service inside of Philadelphia as a part of the Service Immersion Program. And so we were able to create this trip. And as we continue to build out, we are excited to share more about what this trip will look like. So remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to save them until the end, unless I missed something, which again, that was a great question. Thank you again, Avery. So applications open today. They'll be open at 5 p.m. today. So make sure that you all check out I'll Connect today around 5, where you'll be able to submit your application. After applications close, which will be in mid-October, we will reach out to students so that they can do their interviews. And once students are accepted and submit their deposits, when we come back from winter break, our 6-week pre-departure meetings start. what are pre-departure meetings? So our pre-departure meetings are where all of our students gather who are across all 4 trips to talk about important topics that will help prepare them for the Service Immersion Program, 1, but 2, just to prepare them to be a change agent, an advocate, and learn more about community engagement. And so that is what happens during those 6 weeks of meetings, which starts the week 2 weeks after we come back from winter break, so January 20th, and they end the week before we leave for spring break, which will be February 24th. Again, we leave for spring break March 2nd to March 8th. So that is some of the stats there and what the logistics looks like for the Service Immersion Program. So what you can expect this year, we have 9 experienced leaders and they are amazing. I've been meeting with them every week since the beginning of this semester, and they're really excited to meet our participants, to interview you all and accept you into the program. For each of the Service Immersion trips, there will be 8 to 10 participants. So you can imagine that you and 7 or 9 others will be going along this experience together. Like I mentioned before, we'll have 4 community partners, and our community partners are deeply invested inside of the communities that they're in, which we pride ourselves on working with community partners that know about the community that they're helping, as opposed to trying to take over and tell the people there what they need. Again, those pre-departure meetings are 6 weeks prior to us leaving, and they're about an hour-and-a-half sessions. And then we have that 5 to 7 day immersion. And so that is basically the gist of what the Service Immersion Program will look like this year. Here's my email if you have any questions. If you leave here and you didn't get a chance to ask your question, you can always follow up with me. And then here's our social medias, TU Activities, where you can find all things about the Temple Student Activities Department, and then Temple SIP, where we post all things about the Service Immersion Program. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I will allow you all to ask any questions if you have them.
Hi. I was wondering, do we need to plan our semester schedule around the times of the meetings if they're hour long?
Yes. So the meetings are going to be from 3:30 to 4:40 is when the meetings take place every Monday. And so we've had some students that weren't able to attend because they had, for example, we have had seniors who had to take the class at that time. And so some of our students weren't able to participate because of that. But we are trying to be as upfront about that as possible to give you as much time so that you can try to plan your schedule around that. But it really is only that one day. I know that Monday could be tough, especially if you have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. We've had students that were able to reach out to their professors and tell them like, okay, Mondays, I may not be able to be here, just something that I can do in exchange. We've had students that were able to change around their schedules and get a different time. But yeah, so the meetings are Mondays, 3:30 to 4:40, and we usually share more of this information during the interviews. And especially on the application, once you'll see that it'll say that the meetings are from Mondays from 3:30 to 4:40, so you have to ensure that you don't have a class during that time. We tried to do a hybrid model where students were able to do things asynchronously, but it doesn't work as well because we really want our students to be able to see one another and have these really important conversations. Did I answer your question? Great. Another question you have, can you review the destinations again? Of course. So our immigration trip is in El Paso, Texas. Our Indigenous rights trip is in Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Our disability advocacy trip is in Brookshire, Texas. And then One Philly is, of course, in Philadelphia. Are there any additional costs aside from the $400 program? There is not. There is no other things that you would have to pay for outside of the $400. If you, let's say, go to one of the places and there's a gift shop and you want to buy something, of course, that's something that you would have to purchase on your own. But other than that, everything is covered in the $400 programming fee. And would one Philly program look different? It will look different. It will not be the full $400, obviously, because there is no flight associated with that. As we look to what the one Philly program will look like in terms of housing, because there is a possibility that our students will be able to stay on campus during that week, the fee will be different. It will not be $400. But as soon as we know exactly what that cost will look like, we will let you all know. Great question. Is there any more questions? These are really good. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, of course, you all, if you were not able to grab my email or screenshot it, I will put it here in the chat for you all. So feel free to copy and hold on to it. I know I also sent you all an email today, obviously with the Zoom link as well. And so I look forward to seeing your applications. Again, they open today at 5 and they will close in mid-October. So thank you all again. Make sure you follow Temple SIP on Instagram to stay updated with all of our updates and logistics. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon.
Thanks, Denise.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Derek. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Bye, Issa.